Good morning, evening, or good afternoon, everyone. So happy to see everyone in the chat already here doing their thing. So it's 9:15 in the evening here, and it's been a long day, so I'm not sure how long of a live I'm going to host, but thanks Paolo. I've changed a few things, as some of you might have seen in the tech test that I did yesterday, the day before. For that side, pigment number in the corner here of the slab, so you know what I'm going to make or what I'm making. And welcome, Fat Filbert. Thanks for making the live. Everyone else, a watercolorist, Tracy, Mark, I see you're here. Who else did I see? Paolo. Thanks for joining, everyone. Really appreciate it. And really, happy to see that, I thought maybe put a countdown thing and a start screen and things like that. But, you're here and the chat already started, so that's really good to see. Let's have a look if I can change this a bit still. I think that is a bit better. Paolo, you are annoying in the most helpful way, as everyone knows, because especially last live you helped us a lot. Hello, sorry, I have an iPad over there and I need to hello. Not going to put that there. So no annoying questions anymore, like what are we making, because it's over here. We're making that. It is the other Paraline. A beautiful green leaning black. I have I'm sure I have compared this Paraline green with I think it was chromite green, where PBK 31 I compared with phthalo green PG7 against PG 17. This is a way more natural looking, leaning green than Paraline green, or this is Paraline black, but I think it's more green than Paraline. I don't know. It's both green, but in a different way. It's a black pigment, PBK 32. It's a very fine pigment. And I don't know why I just did 3 spoons for this, since I didn't want to make it a long live, but happy days. We can still tone this down a bit, I think. Right. I don't know if this will help. Let's have a look if this will help anything. Yeah, about the PY153. I don't know if granulating will be the best word, but it tends to look for each other, the pigment. I think that's the best way to describe it. Seriously? Okay, one moment please. I have a 1 moment button as well. I mean, look at this. And I'm back. It fluctuates, yes. Yes. I have enough of PY153 to last me a long time. I almost sound like a big brand who gathered all the PO49, but yeah, my Indian yellow, I stocked up. Let me just put it like that. It's a weird pigment, because I noticed that it acts different on different kinds of paper. It even acts different in hard water versus like soft or mineral or demineralized water. But yeah, I really love the pigment, and not really making it into a paint per se. I can call it soft water, right? Yeah, thanks, Paolo. So this is a slightly hydrophobic pigment. And for those of you familiar with my process, what I like to do with these, in contrary to what some people say, or some people prefer, I'm not using alcohol in my paint. I don't like it. I think it's too dark now. Right. That might be better. But I have a little trick. Create a sticky surface. Alright, sticky surface. Making it sticky around there. And slowly introduce the pigment to that sticky surface. So instead of using my palette knife and wetting the pigment before I start mulling it, I add a little bit of pigment to the sticky spread out binder to kind of let it get used to each other. You see the binder already changing color here, getting a little more moss gray, I think would be the right term for it. I don't know if next week the live will be on a Thursday. Also, I don't know if I'm going to do this weekly, maybe bi-weekly or twice a month, if you will. But I hope the next live will be a very special one. I have all things planned in my head. One of you knows I have something secret going on, although I haven't shared the secret with anyone yet. And now you all know. And I'm not I'm not sharing what it is because I want to know for certain that I have my hands on something very special. And I don't know if it's something very special yet. So if I know for certain, I will share it in the next live, which also will end. The live will be a sort of premiere towards the video about that. So hopefully I get everything done before that time. Like the stream. Thanks, Paolo. Like the stream. Thumbs up. So yes, thank you. Or the hearts or anything. I just hit 3,000 view hours on YouTube, by the way, just like I think half an hour ago. And I immediately kind of set up for, I can't monetize my YouTube yet. I'm not there yet, but I can access YouTube subscriptions and super chat and super things, and I don't know. So kind of a milestone for this little community channel here, mine. Thanks for the hearts. Does alcohol affect the paint? Yes and no. So here's the thing. Alcohol doesn't really affect most of the paints. It evaporates more quickly than water if you use the right alcohol. But some pigments react in a way that they, I think flocculate would be the right word, even more, or they start to flocculate because of that alcohol in the mix. I don't know. It's a one very important thing that people forget. The I don't know yet. It's just out of sight for you, but I'll have a big candy jar full of gum arabic crystals. Gum arabic does not dissolve in alcohol. So you can put a crystal like this, which actually is a beautiful specimen. It's almost rose gold. You can I'm going to do it like this, even better. So you can look at it like that. This does not dissolve in alcohol. So you can put this in a jar and of alcohol, and it will just stay this shape. It doesn't dissolve at all. So making kind of a hydrophobic or an anti-hydrophobic pigment binder isn't going to work with this. You need Aquazol for that, or Aquazol. What is it called? Aquazol, right? You need the other binder for it, which, you know, does dilute in alcohol. But for this, the traditional way, gum arabic and honey, it doesn't mix with alcohol. So you can dissolve or wet the pigments like this in alcohol, and you're having like an alcohol pigment porridge kind of thing going on here. Then you introduce your binder, your gum arabic binder, and they reject each other. It makes mulling even harder sometimes. While if you, it's another way you can do it. I mean, there's lots of ways. You can put alcohol in this, or with this. You can wet it quite easily. Then introduce water, distilled, demineralized water, and mix that water in, and keeping it wet with the water and the alcohol until the alcohol evaporates and the water kind of took over, and then introduce the gum arabic binder. You can do all these tricks. Long story short, I'm just making my plate sticky, and I'm slowly introducing the binder. Circular motions, no pellet knife. Pellet knife is still clean. And as you can see, this works perfectly. And I'm just taking my time here. I mean, I'm chatting with you guys. I'm taking a sip of wine. Because why not? And I'm just slowly, you know, I'm not in any hurry, rush, anything. I just want to take my time. And you are... I actually need to work a little bit more. Maybe I can change this a bit, just a tiny bit. You can see the natural green, what I was talking about, right? Where Pyridine green, PBK 31, looks like a chemical green. Artificial, that's a better word. So back to the chat. Thanks, Paolo. Cool setup. Thanks. It is working great. I've made some small investments and I really don't have any money left now for this thing. But anyway, these were just some small things. Like I said in the tech test, this webcam over there, so the close-up webcam, is something that I actually had with my 3D printers, but I mean, they're working flawlessly at the moment. Fingers crossed. Or not at the moment. They just finished a job. And so I took that one. I got that one. I had to buy a new laptop anyway because my last one crashed in November or December. I think it was November. Which was kind of a setback for me. No, a watercolorist? Me neither, until you compare these two. I mean, if you see these next to each other, you know why I compared them with PG7 and PG17, like a artificial against or versus a natural leaning green. So back to chat. What? That. Sure. Yeah, Tracy, absolutely. I've never taken a glass of alcohol, and then I didn't go on a bicycle. I want to say, but I can't guarantee that. No, but this is it's my first glass, and it's my only glass, by the way. I just had a big cup of tea. Too much tea makes me kind of watery from the inside. Too much info, I'm sorry. A watercolorist, I agree with you what you're saying. PBK 31 is blue leaning, well this is yellow leaning. But when we're thinking about leaves, nature, green, or any scene like that, there's always more yellow leaning greens than blue leaning ones. So that's why I made that kind of comparison. If I'm going to do my quick test with the palette knife. As you can see here, it is getting a little bit too sticky at the moment. This needs a little bit more binder. I know that. But and that's a personal thing. I want to add the extra binder that this pigment needs. I want to add that at this stage or a little bit later when everything is mixed through, instead of water, to kind of re-wet it a bit. Hey, what's cool is just literally we need to be kind of in touch for me trying to get a sample, maybe even a dot card of my paint to you. Oh, that was a nasty scratch. Sound. I know, like what you said before about things arriving there and not, but I want to try, okay? Let that just be from me to you. Okay, wait, a longer question. Veronica, thank you. So when I think my store will be open again, I'm really trying third week, not next week, but the week after that, of this month, maybe the last week. But I don't know if I'm going to make it. I actually need to make it because, well, really, there needs to be income, really practical, and I really there's some things that are very interesting for my business, some plans, some ideas that need a little bit of investment from my side, and I need to save for that. Last November, December have been kind of troublesome when it came to shipping. So some packages have gone, well, completely, they've gone somewhere, they got lost, and not all of them, or barely any of them will be refunded by the insurance, or at least not until I can give like more proof. But there's not more proof than I have. I've shipped them out, and they got lost in between two shipping steps. So that has been kind of a financial setback for me, like a big one. The laptop was just a practical one, but the packages have been that was kind of a struggle. That, you know, it's risk of being a small business that sells physical products, right? I understand why people do drop shipping and digital products, like but you know, I get that because of this, but it's part of it, but not something that I really counted on. So that took me back a few steps, which put some plans of mine on hold. But you know, that's it for now. So I need to kind of reopen. But I also don't want to rush. And I'm planning on adding new pigments. PBK 3032. That's this one. You're seeing right now is being made for the first time here in a larger scale. Pens will get their first layer, and I don't want to do too much pre-orders, but there have already been some people who contacted me that gave me kind of a list of paints that they actually had in their shopping cart, but then I closed shop. So they kind of pre-ordered that before I even could open any pre-order. So if I need to open with pre-orders, you know, then that's the case. On a pre-order is kind of 6 weeks from this point. So first layer drying, second layer drying, third layer drying, maybe a fourth layer depending on the pigment, depending on how much it shrinks, the humidity, which have been bad as well last month. But you know, all those factors included, for my kind of, I don't know, stress level, I think it will be way better if I had like a large stock of all the pigments, all the paints already made, and you know, when I open my shop I can just send them out. But that means I can open soonest in like half February, and I think for me that doesn't feel right, because there's also things that I can already send. But you know, thanks Veronica, thanks for saying that, that it was worth it, and thanks for understanding, because that really means a lot to me, the understanding part as well as the compliment, because not everyone is as understanding, which you also get. I mean, you know, with the really big companies, not naming everyone, but I'm not talking paint companies, but like the big online stores that you can even have a package at the same day that you order it. No one like on Etsy or who makes things by hand, no one can compete with that. So yeah. Yeah, Paolo, but thanks. But I might just open up again with pre-orders, and I might have some things in stock, and some things might have to wait a little bit longer. I don't know. Like, idea is working as hard and as fast as I can, but there's been some like practical setbacks as well, like the humidity. I can put my dehydrator on as much as I want, but as soon as a half pan of paint is out of the dehumidifier, or half an hour later it's already sticky, like it's that humid. I can't send that. Like, I need to make sure that I send something that I feel good with as well. Like, I don't want to have like a pan of halfly dissolved paint arriving in America 2 weeks later, for instance. Thank you, Erwin. It is quite a nice process, the lapis lazuli. It is very time consuming, and I'm not sure that one will be back in half pence or quarter pence, maybe a quarter pen, maybe a dot or two. And when my shop reopens, I need to make, literally, I have it right over here, I need to make new pigment. It takes a long time. It's fun. It's very, I'm glad I inspired you, but it's very inspiring to do as well. I know that a watercolorist, it's I really appreciate that, but not everyone is like that, unfortunately. the, but also I noticed that there's people that don't buy on Etsy because they don't trust the platform, because they think it's all like drop shipping and all just bots and stuff like that. I was kind of shocked when I heard that first time, because I didn't really know that that was a thing, that people thought of Etsy that way. Erwin, welcome. By the way, it's I already kind of gave a reaction on your comment on the lapis, but welcome to the chat and the live stream. I appreciate everyone being here. Drop shipping is so if I would start a drop shipping company, I would open a web shop, Shopify most of the time. I would put products on there with product pictures, a nice description. People can buy that on my shop, and then when they click buy, the order is immediately automatically sent towards a very often a company in China who processes your order and ships it directly to your customer. So you don't have any stock, and you get, like, I don't know, you buy it, like indirectly buy it in the Asian shop for $3, while on your website you offer it for 25. So all the steps in between. There's no storage space. There's nothing for you. You don't need to ship anything yourself. That's one way of dropshipping, by the way. Another way is that you just mass order a product or multiple products, store them yourself, ship them yourself. But that's more work. Let's make use of this cam, shall we? I'm fully forgetting this. Guys, pay attention. That is good. I noticed I have a new one, by the way. I noticed that there's something wrong with the edge over here. You can see the little scratches on the gauge. But now we can do a swatch, because that is under 5 micrometer. No, I didn't drop it. I think it always, by the way, it always comes with 2 of these. So always, but most times it comes with 2 of these, because yeah, I don't know why, but I know why it happened. I think I tested a mineral pigment way too soon. We can do with more water on the brush. Come on. Thanks, Mark. And yeah, you are absolutely right. Compliments to I don't want to call it a fan club, but the community here that we're building is quite a high quality one. Yeah, I really appreciate it. So I don't think this can, oh, it can handle it. Okay, good. So we're going to let this dry. And you are good company as well. Oh, I don't want to have that. Let's get some pens. Need to find the right pens. PBK. That is gorgeous. It is a beautiful, beautiful deep mass tone. And I mean, the consistency and how smooth this is. I really like Paralines for more reasons, but I mean, it's not that it is quite a hard or hydrophobic pigment to work with. There are pigments that are way more hydrophobic and challenging to mill. What thanks, a watercolorist. That was kind of that part of because of the stream as well was kind of a thing that I missed with the comment of Paolo. He just joins it for the company, which is fine, I guess. Here I am kind of trying to invest in having a good kind of pigment broadcast, but he comes just for the chat, which is fine, I guess. Oh, Paolo, you're annoying in the best possible way. Apart from when we're going to talk about granulation, then it's just annoying. You know what I mean. PR 178. which was that again, crimson. We can multitask, right? Yes, crimson. I was right. Thing is, I'm quite new to Paraline. Paraline green is something that I've had for, I want to say a while, but I think it was one of the first handmade paint makers who had the pigment. Before others started using dispersions. Kramer now offers it as well, which is very nice. Very similar to Ferrari Red, really? I need to look that up. Okay, so, right, I can't look things up while I'm filling pans here. Don't distract me, guys, come on. Schminke. Okay, I really need to kind of resist the urge to look it up right now. Okay, stop it, really. I need focus on the filling of pans, and then we're going to look at it together, because I have a screen for that as well. Almost there. Oh. So, I know I still have, you can't see it, I'm making a mess here. Oh, I made a mess way before this because it's already dry. Dot pens. The filling of my dot pens. Come on, yes, okay. That just is a very dangerous dot this is. These dots are a little bit too generous when it comes to the amount that actually fits into it. But this is such a sticky paint that I want to risk it. Okay. Are we really risking this? We are. I need to do another screen in there as well, don't I? I need a close-up and just a tiny one of me talking. Well, we don't need it, right? Oh no, sorry guys, just pushed the air filtration button. That's another button. That's a physical mini muller button thing that I have. This dot is going to overflow. I know for sure. Which it was 2 streams ago, so it wasn't the test stream of yesterday, but the one from last week. But Paolo is always very helpful, right? Isn't he? Aren't you, Paolo? I think you are. I have to agree with Mark. Paolo is rather brilliant. In his own very special, annoying way. No, I'm just kidding. Thanks for joining, Veronica. And thanks for being here. Thanks for the compliments and everything, and your patience. I'll give an update on when my shop is opening on any channel. So keep an eye on that, and it'll be okay. You need to have a green edge perimeter, so know which one of you is talking. What do you mean with that, Fat Gilbert? Filbert. Corpse Starch. Good morning. But I told my wife about what kind of people are joining the chats and the live streams. Corpse Starch, Paolo, Tracy, like your 3 of the OGs, I think, and all from your own kind of experience with watercolor. I really she was really surprised that there was so much talking about the actual subject, and kind of dive a bit, a deep dive into the subject. She was kind of surprised by that, and again, when I told that, I thought it's actually quite special to have everyone here talking about these things, knowing what we're talking about as well. So let's have a look. Can we do this? I think we can do this. We are here from a different angle, and we are here at artistspigment.org, a great website. And this is actually the Roman small hue circle that we're looking at. Just about this website, I will link it in the description later. But he does all his swatches that he measures with a spectrometer. He does all the swatches himself to have kind of a standardized quality control. So I've been in contact with him. It started as, I think, a kind of a hobby project, or at least a niche project for whatever he was interested in, pigments, paint. And artistpigment.org, the way that he documents everything is so admiring. I hopefully get one of these hue circles on his website as well. But let's go to the pigments here. So I'm kind of in the way, so let me just do the screen. So what you can see here, you have Roman's wall. I mean, Roman has a amazing range of paint. I mean, it's unbelievable. And you can find the plane over here, the hue circle, all the information and everything. But also, just looking up pigments. So instead of going to Artist Creation, which is a great website, and we can go to this one, Pyrrole Red. We can look it up here as well, to the reds, Pyrrole Red, and we can actually see swatches that he made himself from the brands that he has, the brands that offer it, the information that the brands give, as well as how much they all differ on that hue circle, which is amazing. I mean, this is gold. You have I think this is called crimson, right? Oh, it's oil color. He has it as well here. Okay, so it's not only watercolors. Now let's go to 78, what we're talking about, right? 178, sorry, I'm kind of in the wrong direction here. 178, Pyrrole Red. There's not a lot of people that offer this as a pigment. Actually, just one. So let's get back to this. It's a great website. It's a great resource for anything pigment paint related. I'm on there as well. No swatches yet, no hue circle, but we'll get there. One of the many things that I'm working on. So let's get back to the chat. Giefel, you are not late. You're just, I don't know. You're here. Thanks for joining. I'm really curious on, the cooking and the recipes of Paolo now, by the way. Tracy. Okay, schminke as well. Oh yeah, that's what you said that. Let's have a look. Oh, I'm so sorry. I see what I was I'm in the dry pigment section here. Guys, pay attention. Right, there's loads of companies who offer it. So yeah, Daniel Smith, Talons, Schminke, Roman Small has it, Titan Arts. What is that? What kind of brand is this? Is this competition? I don't know if it's competition. This isn't competition. This is just Roman Small is an example, I think. Someone I look up to as a paint maker. Artistpigment.org, Satuna was the website. Pyrrole was the website, but it changed to artistpigment.org. Titan is Spanish, it's owned by Talents. Well, I have the chat over here as well. I have chats over there and there. But that's interesting, I didn't know that. Yeah, His name is Tamas. He changed that, and like the way he's been working on it, it's really I really admire it. It's really quite something. Oh, I didn't know he was on there. Oh, makes sense. Makes sense. The dots haven't overflown here, so that's a good thing. I'm just browsing through the chat, by the way. Can we do this? Yeah, we can do this. Jane Blundell did a lot of work with Roman Small. Yeah, it's really it's amazing paint. A amazing paint, a range of pigments. Tracy, you've been trying to locate Roman Small pigments to purchase in Poland. What do you mean with locate the pigments? I've been in contact with Roman, and he's going to send me some pigments that I don't have in my collection, just collection for my collection's sake. He was even kind enough to offer me larger amounts for production of paint. But I first want to try things out. So a very kind man, and he doesn't really see it as competition, but more, as we do here, it's a community. We're all different people. In our case, we're different brands, and he is like on a completely other level than I am, but we're different brands. But we're not competition, just like-minded, and I really like that way of looking at things. So yeah. Oh yeah, we're talking about Discord there. Blah, 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 blah. Who is Listeel? I don't know who Listeel is. I need to look that up, I think. Okay. Oh, you need to hit me up with those websites. Tracy. Okay, so I've been I took these out before. This was the Mayan red from last week. My other shelves are kind of full, so I'm stacking them up here. Thanks. So I've been on a little quest. Let me just, can we just focus, please? Focus. That's better. So I've been on a little quest, because in my latest video I briefly talked about how mica pigments are coated. And I'm not even, I didn't went into a lot of detail there. I just briefly talked about, how they are coated. Sorry for the everything at once thing, but a lot of drying shift with this pigment as well. But then it made me think, okay, I know that what a mica flake looks like. I know how it's kind of know how it's coated. You can look it up, but it's coated with a metal oxide, titanium dioxide, iron oxide, magnesium, anything, cobalt, anything is used to coat that that flake of mica. So I started wondering, okay, how is a color shift mica? How is that coated? What is done with it to make it appear from a different angle, a different color? And then I started thinking about, holographic pigments. What are those? I don't offer them. I don't really offer color shifts. I have them, like little samples, and some bigger samples, by the way. Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh well, you don't need to zoom in. You can just, watch it like this. Because I am like this. There's a reason I've been tweaking everything. Is this long enough? Okay. Got kind of awkward there. So it, I kind of went into the rabbit hole of, I need to refill this. I need to get everything out. On how color shifts, but also holographic pigments are made. And I'm really sure that some of you know already. Who knows how they are made, like, or know anything about it. Which is completely fine. And it's not something that I thought, I'm kind of shocked that it was made that way, or I found out like, oh my god, I didn't know that. So kind of, it made sense, but just curious on how widely known it is how these pigments are produced. Shall we do a holographic? Shall I make it? I don't want to make it since it's of a brand that, yeah, whatever. Oh, it's so tempting. I didn't wanna. Okay, so first let me clean this up. I need to refill the water thing here, so I'm going to put you on my be right back screen. And, I think because the music stopped here. Did it stop? No, it didn't stop. But here's a little bit more music. What did I miss? You know how to make holographic chocolate? Of course you do, Paolo. I actually believe you. And I actually think it's true what you're telling, but... Okay. Now my entire like pigment thing doesn't even stand a chance against that. Okay, tell me, how do you make holographic chocolate? You first. Come on, Paolo. Holographic chocolate. Now, okay? Since, you know, I don't even dare to start about the pigment again because that's not interesting at all compared to holographic chocolate. You see, you have a watercolorist all drooling here in the chat. Oh, that's not even that interesting. I mean, it's interesting, but the diffraction grid pattern on your plastic film is something that people use with 3D printers lately a lot as well. A PET print bed with that same diffraction pattern on it, which leaves a holographic layer, or you know, the diffracted layer on the bottom of a 3D print, which is quite interesting. But it is cheating. Exactly, Corsage. Thanks for backing me up here. Okay. Shall I even try to share what, you know, things about pigments here, or shall I just make this annoying noise here? Yeah, that's true. I wanted to know. That's true. But still, I'm just going to continue to make this annoying noise. Okay, but about pigments. So color shifts, micas are coated mica flakes with a metal oxide. Most of the times it's titanium dioxide as a base layer, which gives the a brighter kind of white-ish reflection, and then over it is, well, any other metal oxide is used as a coating to give it a different color. Unfortunately not. I'll make a video about it though. I thought, you know, I'll make a video about it first, but then I thought, you know, let's share it here. I called a lab who makes mica pigments, and also works with holographic pigments. So I gave him a call, and I'm looking for a pencil. Here we are. So what they told me was it's actually PET as well. So you have a laser cut PET particle, which is, I don't know, any shape, laser cut from the top, from the side, and that is embossed on both surfaces. It's I don't know, it's a minuscule, I don't know how to do it, but they emboss the surface of the particles, probably with a chemical reaction. It's aluminized. So you have PET, you have the embossing. It's aluminized, I think. I don't know how you write that. Aluminized, and then they coat it with different metal oxides as well, layering those, giving all different colors, refracting and reflecting light in different ways because of the embossing, because of the reflecting properties of each metal oxide. It's also kind of the same way that a mica pigment, a color shift is made, also, although that is just a mica flake coated with multiple metal oxides reflecting light in a different angle. So that way you can have a green mica pigment that in a different angle looks red or orange or things like that. So that is mica. Holographic pigments though, like this, polymer, plastic, never a mica. That's what the guy said. This cannot be, because of that process, this cannot be a mica pigment. Which was really interesting, because when you're going to look for the pigment online, you find holographic micas everywhere. Paint makers, pigment manufacturers, or pigment sellers, not manufacturers, sellers, there's a difference. So loads of things like that. I can... Shall we? Yeah, I'm just going to show you. I'm going to show you why not. Right. I have a tiny bit, because I actually didn't want to do this. But I'm doing it anyway. A tiny bit of holographic pigment. I noticed I added a little bit too much binder because I didn't, like I said, I didn't want to do this, but because we're doing this, let's do it the right way, right? Let's make paint that's actually usable. So there's one thing that, if you ask yourself what is a holographic pigment, a pigment that does this. You see all the colors here on that part where I drop my pigment on the slab. That is a holographic pigment. So for those of you who haven't seen my latest video, we're not mulling this because it is coated. I don't want to destroy the coating. I don't want to break up the particles. Thanks, Tracy. And corpse stars, yes, they use wizards. Basically the summary of it. Oh yes, absolutely, Paolo. I'm going to paint a sample on a black piece of paper, but I first need to look for it. But I'll spare you the be right back screen. I'm just leaving it on this one. Maybe I can even introduce a holographic. Oh, that's pretty. Now, iridescent and holographic are two different things. They're not used interchangeably, at least not by me or anyone I know. This reflects all the colors of the rainbow. My daughters would call this unicorn dust. Come on, focus. Iridescent is a white-looking mica that would be invisible on white paper, but give a sheen of a color, a metallic reflecting color on dark paper, or when you layer it. But this is like holographic is really like all the colors of the rainbow. Corpse starts. What are you talking about? Wait, I need to go back. Alexandra, welcome. I'm sorry, I'm only seeing you now. Ah. No. Putting it in drinks. Look it up. Like glitter wine or stuff like that. It is. I know they sell it here as well at the local. What is it? Booze store. I don't know what the name is for it. I can't promise you, by the way, this is a good one because I haven't tried this pigment before, and I noticed that it is not wet enough for it to flow properly on the paper. So let's try it. Now it's a little bit too wet. It is way too wet. I need to let it dry first. Well, you can see it in a angle. I'll need to let it dry first. Okay, so I'm going to... Oh, this works better. It's flowing a bit better. So I'm just going to put some extra pigment on the paper. Load that brush up a bit. I'm going to let it dry. I'm going to show you. I noticed that this pigment is a little finer than a little bit more fine than the one that I had made before in the past, which was a custom order. It's quite an expensive pigment, a really expensive pigment, by the way. So since I'm going to let enough pigment here flow on the paper, everything will settle in a different angle and the effect will be at its best when it dries. So you can kind of, can you see it? Will it focus? Kind of see the effect over there. But it's a very fine pigment, which makes it very hard to make an opaque layer. I'm sorry, corpse starch. Well, I think, Mark, about the holographic lava? Really? That is interesting. I wanna see a picture of that. The birds, like the feathers of the birds and the fish. I think there are some fish that are like they have the holographic effect. A lot of birds have a more iridescent effect to them, I think, since they don't. It doesn't appear as silver that kind of reflects all the colors, which some fish actually do. So we're letting this random pen dry over there. Holographic ham. I know. I've seen it. Can you eat it? No, no, Tracy, no holographic pigments are coming. It is, to be honest, about the mica pigments and the holographic pigments and the pigment shift pigments and all the things like that. There are paint makers who do that so much more often, and I think better than I do. I'm not. I have the experience, but I'm not focused on those. I have a small range of mica pigments that are kind of loosely based on my mixing palette, color-wise. But you know, not yet. Let me just put it like that. The effect is slowly visible for me. Let me see if we can get it in an angle that we can actually appreciate it here. I don't think. Oh yeah, here we are. Here we are. Here we are. Okay, so it's not dry yet, as you can see, but you can kind of appreciate the holographic effect that it gives. I should have loaded my brush with more pigment though, but Ah, well. A watercolorist asked what holographic pigments are, and then, you know, then I started making one. I've had like holographic ham, which this sounds so chemical, but I've had holographic ham once, like in a package. And I actually cut that out off that piece. I thought that looks dodgy. Like what kind of fungus gives a rainbow effect like that? So I actually threw that slice away. But it was a new package of ham, so it makes sense. Maybe they used the same like film that Paolo uses for his chocolate. I see the explanation here, but I like to think of that. Someone just try to make the ham happier by giving it holographic glitters. Oh, bye Mark, have a great day. Thanks for joining again. Oh yeah, always, I know, smell it, I know. That's the first thing I do with food. With, you know, not with all the food. Like not smelling it in a way that I don't trust it. Let's have a look. It's almost, well, it's 11:15 here. Which means it's late. How long have we been going for? An hour. Shall we call it a day? What shall we do? Were there more things I could show you? Oh, there's one thing I can show you still. Maybe with the new setup here. Okay, so I'm going to what, this long? Oh yes, that long. Okay, so I'm going to do this close up and then just let you look at this holographic pigment while it dries. If it wants to dry, if it's ever going to dry. Will you ever dry? Probably you will dry. In the meantime, I'm going to try something. I'm just going to keep talking to you while I'm doing something else. Because I wanted to try something like this as well and see if it would work. But I need some time for it, so we can do it like this, I think. Oh, that works beautifully, just instantly. Okay, so let's change the setup to this. I mean, we're here, I'm here next to my microscope is over here, and you're actually looking through my microscope now. So to make it even better, we can just look at it like this. And, are we here? Yes, there we are. You're just looking with me through my microscope. And to make it even better, don't be shocked by the way, I'm going to change microphones. I'm going to talk like this here. I have my my podcast microphone over here. And we can actually look to this pigment together. I know there's like dust and debris, I think a piece of dust on my mobile phone adapter. I need to clean that, which is quite a lot of work, so I'm not going to do that now. But I thought, how fun is it to just show you things under the microscope? Like, I'm able to actually share that with you now. I thought this was fun. If you don't agree, please let me know as well, but I thought it was fun to show it to you. And I know I'm making a noise, but I'm looking for other slides for my microscope. Since I actually prepped a lapis lazuli. Thanks, Tracy. Was that last week? I changed a lot from, you know, with the setup, so let me look for the microscope slides. Just a sec. I think this is... No, this isn't lapis. I know this isn't lapis. But let's see what we have here. We are... This is literally... I just put a different slide underneath the microscope, and we stumbled upon a beautiful red piece within a slide of azurite. I think this is Vivianite, by the way, I'm sorry. It is a little bit harder for me to focus while my microphone is on it. And we lose a bit of quality as well. But look at this. This isn't right, by the way. This isn't azurite. I need to look at what this is. I just took a slide out of the drawer. I have another light installed on it as well. Let's see if this adds anything to it. Doesn't really do anything, does it? Let me have a look. We can open it a bit further here. No, this doesn't add anything. Right? No. That doesn't work. For micas it does, by the way. What would work is when we are going to make it a cross-polarized light, and we can actually appreciate this a bit better. Okay, anyway, I thought that was fun. Right, to oh, it's a bit too much branding in there, but I thought this was quite, you know, fun to add to the mix. It's also quite a fun one. Because this is mine. I made this. Lapis lazuli. It's so blue. Do this, but this can't do something. It doesn't really do something, does it? Sorry, I'm kind of playing around a bit with the lighting and stuff, but some things just don't want to work. Ah, that explains it. It's not connected. Anyway, I really need to clean my my adapter. But this is really quite a wonderful pigment to look at from up close, and also like how blue this is, how they are not the same. Thanks for saying that. There is how many are we here? 9 of us. There's a video. I want to make this video. I have been willing to make a video about that pigment for quite a while, and I don't know how to. I don't know how to tackle this subject. I don't know how to approach this, because it's quite a sensitive subject. Let me just put it like this, and I'm going to make a podcast out of this, and probably, I can literally, maybe this is not the best camera for it, but I can literally use this. The finer you make, the more fine you make lapis lazuli. I can't corpse starch. I really want to. I really want to, but I don't think I'm in a position to do it like that, even not with you. So the more fine you make lapis lazuli as a pigment, the less blue it gets. Unless you make a very fine grind. The grayer it gets, yeah. You make a very fine grind, and you purify that. And you keep purifying that. Or you keep refining it. So if you have a very fine grind that lost a lot of blue, but take that little amount of blue out of it. You start with 100 grams of that very fine grayish lapis lazuli pigment, and you're left with just a fragment of a gram of the purest blue, fine and pure blue. Imagine how expensive that is. And even then, what you are left with is, I can turn the light back on, is, we can, oh no, my hand is not going over it, which makes sense, by the way, it's a different screen. That big blue thing in the middle, let's just put it in the middle, those two, that lighter and darker one in the middle. You're left with something as blue as that. This is my Frangelico blue, which is quite a deep, intense, though slightly coarse blue paint. Very fine though, but compared to synthetic ultramarine. Imagine having such a pure blue lapis lazuli that you're only left with that big blue. Where are we? How are my hands? This is really difficult to do it in mirrored like this. That very big blue part over there. That's all the pigment that you have. It's so. Let's go to ignore that. It is so expensive to make, to produce. Time, the amount of time and energy it takes, effort, knowledge, expertise. It takes so much to make a pigment like that, and the raw material alone. Imagine finding a pigment that claims to be lapis lazuli, the purest lapis lazuli, which is just a fraction of the price of companies that sell a lapis lazuli that is less blue, but more natural looking and feeling. I made a few calls in the context that I've made in the pigment world. Resellers, sellers, manufacturers, you name it. One of them told me that whenever they buy a batch of lapis lazuli pigment to repackage and resell, they always test it. They always test the pigment under the microscope. What they found is that it gets mixed a lot with synthetic ultramarine, with synthetic ultramarine and things like quartz or silica, things that make it feel natural, look more natural under the microscope, but aren't. Like they used filler, synthetic filler, ultramarine filler, to make it more blue and more, to make it literally more pigment. So when I heard that, I thought, okay, maybe my suspicions are right. And I made a few calls. I made a few. And the more I dug into it, the more the suspicion that I had was kind of I don't want to say that I fully found out that my suspicions were right, that but I did notice that a lot of people agreed with me and had the same suspicions, but also they didn't want to talk about it, or didn't want to talk about it. They wanted to talk about it with me, but they didn't want to make it go public, or they because the pigment world is very small when it comes to those kind of things. So for me, it's quite a sensitive subject, since I don't know how to approach this. Yes, I think I did, Tracy. The thing is that no one wanted to confirm it officially, which was really frustrating, because I actually bought the microscope because of the lapis pigment that I made, and the research that I was doing, and the things that I wanted to compare it with. Paolo, I know that, paint makers, yeah, sure, obviously, but I won't use their name, but maybe you can find out with the information that I just shared which of the sellers. it is or was. Oh, we can do it like this as well, obviously. This is a bit weird though, since that's weird. Let's just go close up and see if we can find the right angle, because I can see it. Can we do it like this? It doesn't want to focus like this, really. In an angle like this, but it doesn't want to focus like that. It maybe needs 2 layers. Oh. Okay, so back to the other audio. Back to this part. Let's turn off the microscope. Yeah. The primer. Oh no, I'm sorry. The oh, that slipped my mind. What are you talking about, Tracy? I don't know what you're talking about. But you know, what frustrates me most is that if a pigment like that is being sold to paint makers, who, because of that, can make a competitor for my Fra Angelico blue way cheaper than I can offer it. That's frustrating. That's just frustrating. I mean, I think some people offer the purest lapis lazuli version cheaper than I can actually get the pigment per 5 grams. Or you know, if you're looking for it, if I'm making it, I need to get the raw material. And there is one fun fact about this, and I'm willing to share it here with you guys. Only if everyone likes it, because you know, I know there's someone who didn't like it yet. I see the thumbs and I see how many people of you are here, and you know, Mark already left, so shame on you guys. Now I'm going to share it anyway. So lapis lazuli. This is a beautiful specimen. Are you talking about me, Tracy? Sorry, it's like it's late. It just slipped. I just wanted to confirm that I knew it was you, Corp. Sorry. I just wanted to confirm that I knew that you know what you were talking about, Tracy. So this is a beautiful piece of lapis lazuli, because the blue mineral, the blue rock that is visible here, if we wet this, you see that blue really shines through. So this is what you want to have, right? All this will be filtered out, will be purified. But this is the stuff that you want. So very interesting thing about this. Let's just do it like this. A very interesting thing about this is that this is not something that you would think of as the purest, or not the purest lapis lazuli, but the thing that you want. Maybe a good example of a piece of lapis lazuli from a jewelry, or a piece of lapis lazuli that has been used for a sculpture, fully blue and polished. I talked about someone who talked with someone about that, about the production of lapis lazuli, about the process of sinini, and he said that that lapis that is being used for sculptures and that's being polished, if you break that, it breaks like glass, and like glass, it loses even more of its color. There's almost no blue left after you grind it as a pigment. Well, this stuff, the mineral, interestingly, although not as blue or as solidly blue as those sculptures are, that rock that is being used for sculptures, this gives you a way more pure blue pigment when you purify it the right way, as I showed you under the microscope, those particles that come from this. So I thought that was really interesting, because the really blue rocks, you can find them on website, on cheap Asian websites, AliExpress and stuff like that. You can buy those polished pieces of lapis lazuli, and it's really tempting to buy those and think, okay, I can make a really pure blue pigment out of those. But I know better now, because I really trusted that person, especially since they had a lot of experience working with the pigment. I'm going back to the chat, by the way. Still, Tracy, was it a poor business response, like from my side, because I kind of confirmed that I knew what you was talking about? Because I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like I said, it's late. This is Afghan lapis. I think it is. This is actually, I'm using lapis lazuli. I used to collect when I was a kid. I used to collect rocks and minerals. So I'm using everything I have. Not sure about the origin of this piece, by the way. Oh yeah, oh yes, talking about the response that, well, if you can call that a response. Yes. Bye, Paolo. Um, yeah, keep an eye on it. I'll contact you outside of this for next stream. It will be really, really, hopefully, really something that I can share with everyone next time. Hopefully next week. I'm not sure about that. But I'm expecting something next Tuesday, if it has no delay. So maybe I can make a video Tuesday/Wednesday, edit the video then, make sure the video is watchable during or after my live stream, and kind of build up to it during my live stream. I don't know. I'll let you know. Thanks for joining. Have a good evening, Paolo, and have a great weekend, and tomorrow, Friday. Anyway, yeah, I agree with you, Tracy. It was quite a poor response, especially because there was quite a lot of evidence against the or against. There was substantial evidence for the suspicions that people had. But yeah, I'll call it a stream as well. It's late. I just check my clock. It's late. It's always almost 2 hours of streaming. Thanks everyone for joining. Have a great day, evening, tomorrow as well. Have a great weekend. Hopefully see you next week. If not, I'll let you know. Again, thanks everyone. I'll maybe make a video about this, maybe not. Still don't know how to approach it. Corpse Starch, hit me up, send me a DM. How would you do it in your most brutal way possible? Let me know. See you everyone, thanks for joining. Do I have a button for ending this live stream? Let's have a look.
Oh